Who knew after 20 years in real estate, I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate. Hey, curling fans, I'm standing here in front of Sheet Stew here at the High Park Club, and I just want to let you know that I'm so excited to sponsor the sport of curling, to help curling out. So you can go to stewcurls.com, see all my events, see the Stew Sell series, but you know what? I also sell real estate as well. So you need to buy a house, list a house, condo, rental, business.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Stu Sells Toronto here on Curling Stadium. My name is Jim Nix. I'm with Sean Joyce. Connor Sims working production for us, and we're excited to be bringing you this early round action in this event here in Toronto. So, Sean, you've got a couple of women's teams. You were just saying you're just kind of getting here from work, so I don't know how far up to date you are on who's even playing right now, but so far I can tell you that Fujisawa's got one game under her belt. And she's 0-1, losing earlier to Kang of Korea. And then Artichuk from Waterloo is playing her first one in this event. Just getting it going underway here, just a few minutes early, which is odd. Saw a lot of Fujisawa for a couple of years, a little bit less of late, it seems.
I'm not familiar with this team at all. It's the first time I've had
a
chance to look at.
Yeah, I did a game of theirs earlier or last year, I don't know which, must have been maybe earlier this year. I don't think they travel a lot. Both events they played this year were in Ontario. Didn't qualify in either one. Shorty Jenkins Spiel and Spiel in Kitchener-Waterloo earlier.
That's the fun thing for us as the announcers when you get to do some of these events across the country. You get to see a few of the teams, like I said, that don't travel a lot, so they're playing the event just because it happens to be in their own region. And without that, we wouldn't get a chance to see them. Maybe with a lot of the viewers at home, so this is a chance to see some of the teams that are up and coming in this country.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's you realize there's a lot of good players out there that we aren't aware of yet also, so that's kind of good. So Artichuk with a couple of rocks in the house here.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot. I mean, didn't get the blue all the way out, but look how well she got the two yellows separated. Almost got the one pushed behind the corner guard. Sitting two.
Fujisawa with hammer here in the first end.
Yeah. Really not looking like, I mean, those rocks are so spread out in the house. It's going to be tough to get back to a blank. So it changes your outset or your mindset right from the outset here in this end. The Fujisawa team's got to be thinking about trying to score two because it doesn't look like they're going to get back to a blank. Artichuk maybe figures she's got a good chance to force here. She's still got that center guard. All it takes is one miss somewhere, and she's got a chance to come around and maybe set up a steal.
Yeah,
that might be it, right?
Yeah, and almost got it even bigger there because she just came really close to that guard. Be interesting to see Artichuk call here.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Would she come around, or are you going to play the biter? The problem with playing the biter at the back, and granted it's the first inning, I think you said Artichuk, this is her first game of the event. You hit the one at the back, you're going to leave a double. And she's back to perhaps having a chance to make the play. You come around your center guard here, sit 2.
Just get the nose hit.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're getting a little bit of action off the ice for sure. There's a mic.
Yeah, it's just ambient mics out there. It does pick up some stuff. It's always interesting, I think, during the event like this, it's hard because all the sheets are going, but when you get down to the playoffs, those mics on the ice, I think can pick up some of the conversations.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I thought she had the double and the roll just a little too far.
Yeah, that could have been really good for Fujisawa. Artichuk now with more or less open hit, just to sit 2 again, try to get the force here in the first end.
Good top 4. That was 15-4.
It's that kind of situation where you get the roll and you really need to make it a perfect roll. Because again, if Fujisawa thinks she's going to be forced, and you're only halfway around, so it's a little bit of a stagger, she could just loop one around everything and try to get 2 here.
Yeah, just about got the roll.
That's probably better than getting a half roll, though. Because if Fujisawa tried to come around now, you can see enough of that yellow to promote it on everything that's behind it. You know, if she makes that hit and roll behind the corner, she's going to be close to making the other double, too.
Yeah, really, that would be sweet if for this team they'd roll right behind the corner. She's got to bend a bunch.
She's not going to get enough to get it out.
Yeah, big miss there by Yoshida. Must have got that out pretty good, Sean. That went by there. Didn't really come even close to making contact, solid contact there.
Yeah, I do think either that or maybe a combination could have been too much more weight than what they had called as well. You have to think, I mean, if they were thinking it's all about the double, you're only looking to hit about half and trying to hold the shooter, so you would have been looking to throw it pretty quiet.
Jamie Smith there for Artichuk. An out-turn come around here. Try to keep this above the tee line.
Line looks great. Look at that girl.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, and key that she got it that deep too. You put that full 8 foot, and there's a double off the one in the front 12. You've got to be that deep so that it becomes a really thin double. Now they've got to go after shot. It's a much more delicate shot.
Yeah, she can't see very much of that. Little out-turn hit, probably just a hack weight shot.
10-5. 10-5 on the line.
Yeah, she wants to get right to the nose, and it's not critical to get the yellow all the way out, but she wants to stay dead buried. You want to make the shot, the return shot, difficult for the Artichuk team.
Looking hard to get this one to curl as well.
Weight was okay, didn't get the curl.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it was probably just what the weight she was looking for, but never really came close to getting over there.
overthrow it. She didn't get it all the way through, which she didn't have to. If she gets to the nose, now it's a chance for Artichuk to make the hit and roll back to the exact same spot.
Same spot, yeah.
She hit 4 and
So Artichuk with their first one here in the first end. Set first shot of the spiel for her. So she said they do have practice and would have a little bit of time at the start to get used to it. She throws it well. Working hard on this, trying to hold it there. Curling a bit, to get a piece. Things around, so if numbers are any good to you, so they've got numbers, but yeah.
Our numbers are good enough to make sure there's no chance for a blank here. Fujisawa still has 2 rocks left. Going to have to go for the proverbial skips deuce here.
Yeah.
Have you been? This is the first game I've done from this event too. Jim, is this your first game as well?
Yeah, it is, Jim.
Up brothers this morning. Okay. I was going to ask you, but I won't put you on the spot because you won't know any better than I how much finish is going to get here. The draw coming in looked like it finished nice, but they sure don't have a lot of ice to make this draw. I'm just wondering if could she overcurl the guard and get towards that back yellow.
I think she probably can.
A few of us this year.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they're taking a lot of ice.
Fujisawa. Expect her to be fairly close on this, just historically watching her play, it seems like these are the kinds of shots she excels at. Panic.
That's really good.
Yeah. That's not bad for the first shot of the game. And the other team sitting 4. They weren't necessarily in great position, but they were still 4. So,
yep.
Yeah. A bit of short run back here Emma's looking at.
Yeah, and it's kind of forced her to at least make a choice. And this is a more delicate shot. She's running yellow onto the blue. She's a little thin, goes over the top. It's going to jam on the yellow at the back of the 4-foot. And by the same token, she can't really play the out-turn draw to the corner. I mean, she could. If she makes it, she's sitting shot rock. That's a really tough shot. So, really, that's about as well as Fujisawa could do. Flip the script and at least make your opponent look at a tough shot. If she makes this, she's going to have to open up a little bit more room for her. I'll be on the other turn. She just threw the out turns. She'll throw it again.
She's sure planning on throwing this with a little bit of weight. She basically needs to hit exactly where the broom is.
On the brush immediately.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good sign.
Gotta stay a sliver high.
No, she's not going to get that one. Just no ice, I think, Sean. Just needed a little bit of ice to work with there.
Yeah, perhaps.
Or throw it really harder. A lot harder, one of the two.
She made it off the roll in. She made it ever so slightly tougher because she's got a little bit more of the 4-foot. But there's definitely room for Fujisawa to come to her own stone.
Yeah, she got that pretty much identical shot, with the exception of maybe just a couple more inches of ice. So a draw for 2 here in the first end for Fujisawa. Kind of came out of nowhere. Real skips deuce if she makes it. steady here, not going hard, but looks pretty good. They can get it there, and they can. So very nicely done by Fujisawa. She'll pick up a deuce here in the first end, taking an early 2-0 lead here at the Stu Sells Toronto. We'll be back with you right after the break.
We are here at the RBC Bloor West Village branch, and I'm here with two of their best mortgage brokers, Keith Joel and Dave Thompson. RBC has been an amazing sponsor of my curling season for about 10 years. And Keith, why is it so important to be involved in the community and sponsor youth sports?
First of all, Stuart, it's been a fantastic 10 years. I'm so happy to be involved, and so is RBC. We enjoy being out there, meeting all the curlers, and having a lot of fun along the way. So thanks for that.
I just want to say I'm with you. I'm a big supporter of the community, and I just want to let everyone know all my mortgages with RBC, all my accounts are with RBC. It's an amazing bank. These are great mortgage brokers. So look, go to rbc.com and come into the Bloor West Village branch and visit these great guys.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey, all you curling fans sitting at home watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard here at StuCurls.com. Look, High Park's just down the road. We're here in the Junction. If you bring the map card with you, come to Caribou Gifts and start your Christmas shopping early and get some great gifts for the family.
Welcome back to end number 2 here at Stu Sells Toronto. Happy to be bringing you this Bonspiel on Curling Stadium. Jim Nixon, Sean Joyce, Connor Sims on production, and we are back for end number 2 with Fujisawa manufacturing a pretty nice skip deuce there, Sean, in the first end.
Yeah, it was outstanding draw in the first one, and you and I, our first look at the ice, so fantastic late curl because she didn't have a ton of ice just to get by the guard. It looked like if this is ice that curls a lot, you should crash. Well, she gets by the guard easy enough, and then curls out the other side to get almost frozen on that stone at the back. So overall total, there's 3.5, 4 feet of curl, and most of it is late. Like there's really late finish, which just, that's always a treat for the viewers, for the announcers. There's so many more shots that can be made when it moves that hard late.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just good for everybody all around, for sure.
Well, and your weight's got to be perfect too, because if your rocks, typically on ice like that or conditions like that, it's because the rocks have been conditioned, and so they'll curl as they start to slow down. Well, if you're 10 feet heavy, they won't slow down in the same spot. You don't get the curl you will. So it changes everything. It's not just what it does for the draw weights, but all those finesse shots. You see so many of them. You saw a couple of them in the first end, a couple of little half weighted. Your weight really has to be what was called, because otherwise you miss by a lot at the other end. It can look foolish, but it's just because the weight has to match the broom you put down.
So a good setup so far here for Fujisawa early in the second end. So yeah, second or lead stone second rock for Artichuk. It is Lauren Rajala, I believe it is.
I think so.
Intern coming in, trying to play a little freeze.
These are the shots that became a little bit more touchy when they added the no tick zone.
Yeah.
I've talked about it in the air before. I don't remember whether I put it with or not, but I know as a skip, these are the ones you used to tight ice, and you just figure, well, if it crashes the guard, so be it. You can't do that anymore. You have to play these shots with a lot more precision. That was a very nice shot.
The out-turn freeze now for Fujisawa. One thing about it, no shortage of walks in play early in this game. That's good to see. Short. Artichuk says that's enough of that. Let's try to open this up. She's got a nice little corner there. If she can put another one behind that, she'll have a pretty good setup here for the part of the second end at the High Park Club in Toronto.
24 teams here on this side, I believe, if I counted them correctly. Playing in 6 pools of 4.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. I looked at that earlier too, and I was. It doesn't seem like that's normally what happens. Usually, if you have 24 teams, you have 4 pools of 6, and this 6 pools of 4 is interesting. I haven't made it far enough to look at playoffs and all that yet, but we'll get to that.
Well, certainly probably too many games if they were looking at 6 pools, but what I was looking at when I looked at it and I double checked it already, it looks like they're playing a 3-game round robin against the teams in their own pool. Sometimes when you want to get a 4th game, they'll play, one pool will play against their entire 4 games against a different pool, and that's how they'll work that out. So, with 3 games, somebody's going to be able to afford 1 loss, but there's a possibility somebody could go home with 1 loss just based on the time of the draw to the button tiebreaker. So it really becomes very important. Every game is so important. Undefeated, you're through to the playoffs. 1 loss, you might not be.
Well, exactly, yeah, that becomes so important. The draw to the button becomes so important. But it's interesting because there certainly was a time when, the possibility of being eliminated at 3-1 would have kind of upset a lot of people. Still might a little bit, but it would upset a lot of people because that's tough.
It'd be 2-1 here.
2-1, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. 3 games, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty short event.
But but in 6 pools, when you're playing everybody in your own pool, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Statistically, and I have to look it up myself, but statistically, out of 6 pools, probably 4 of them you're going to end up with somebody through at 3-0.
Yeah.
2 of them you're going to end up with teams tied at 2-1 at the top of the pool. And even in those 3-0 ones, there's going to be a few more 2-1 teams. So, yeah, it really, all these small round robin events, they do make that draw to the button. It's way more important than just the hammer that game, which is why you see teams spend so much time practicing that shot.
Yeah.
That's why they won't throw anything else in the pre-game practice session too. That shot is hugely important. Good draw to the button is like having another win on your record.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Works well for this spiel, timing-wise, at least for this year too, with basically all of the top-end Canadian teams are playing in the points bet. And so it opens up the field, and you've got a lot of 11 Canadian teams in this field. So there's what 13 non-Canadian teams. So that's a lot of teams from outside the country to be at a bonus pool that you might get eliminated 2-1 for sure. So Artichuk now looking at the decision here. Sure, she's going to play like a hack white shot. What do you like here, Sean?
I didn't mind her first call where she just looked at hitting the top ones. You heard her, I could hear her say, and you did confirm during the break, she was playing enough of yours. The mics that you hear are actually player mics. So it's not just ambient noise, that's why we're picking it up. So she thought the double would go back on the yellow, and it looks like it might. It really depends on how thick you hit the second. So she's going to go after the shot rock, but she talked about just hitting the top one and rolling in front of the shot rock, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Working really hard on this. So they buy the top one. She's going to hit it anyway, but she's going to roll out. So Fujisawa now will go back, play a little bit of defense here and hit this back one. In the game, 2-0 lead. So getting into too much here.
Curl then. Gotta curl then.
Missed. Can I hold it? I can't tell yet. No, it will roll out. So a little bit of a break for Artichuk. Takes a potential force, makes it a little bit tougher. Sean, I'm just watching that shot on that inside-out shot, and I don't know if I'm right here or not, but it seems like in the last year or a year and a half, that more teams are playing that inside-out shot than used to be. We seem to always play all outside in. And
yeah, I think it goes back. I think it goes back further than that, Jim. And I think I had a second that played for me for a couple of years that he was much younger than I was. I was towards the end of my career. He was getting started, but he was more comfortable playing the shot from the inside out. And where it came from, we had a chance to talk about this. And like you said, you and I, when in our days, we played from the outside in, where you were worried about making the roll to the boards and getting everything out of play. But so much of the play nowadays, since the free guard zone, you usually throw that first one into the rings, then you see the corner guards go up. And when you're peeling the corner guards now, there's usually one in the house. So you can't peel from the outside and roll to the boards. You have to peel from the center line and make the long roll all the way across. So they play that shot so much more commonly now that a lot of the younger players are just much more comfortable playing it from the inside out because they play it more commonly. We used to always play the outside in because we wanted the shorter roll to the boards. They're playing the inside out because they can't afford to jam on the one in the rings. You could make it both ways, but it's whichever one you play a lot, you start to become very comfortable with it, and you see that creep into the other shots. Yeah, I've noticed that before myself too. It's interesting that so many more teams on the younger side, they've never played anything but free guards though. They've gotten used to playing those hits from the inside out.
So it looks like Artichuk here is going to ignore the one at the back. At first I thought she might be drawing to the one at the back, but she's actually, I think, going to go around the corner guard.
She's going around. I actually thought she might even have played this when the rock was still on the button. You could have, because Fujisawa was not likely going to ignore a rock in the range and throw a guard on the rock in the button. And even if she does, you see so much curl, you may be able to get to it. Chance to get two.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point, because a lot of people look at that sometimes when the team says, well, I'm going to ignore that one, and people are like, well, how can you do that? You can't leave that there. Geez, she's just going to guard it and you're not going to get it out. But these teams are playing the scoreboard a lot, and they're not going to take a chance of giving up a three, so they opt on a different shot than your club curler might play.
Well, and again, it goes back to what we just talked about. We come from a different generation. In a lot of cases, the Rocks just didn't have this amount of finish. Yeah. Nowadays, it's actually very difficult to guard a rock in the house so well that you can't get to it with either turn, with one guard. So you can afford to ignore a stone, try to get it around. She didn't get perfectly undercover, but she had to be shot rock. That was key.
Yeah, it was still very good shot. She couldn't go too much further over. She wouldn't have been shot, like you say. She had to be shot. So
yeah, if she's not shot, Fujisawa just draws in and can get the four.
So Fujisawa looking out. They just indicated it, so that's good. So I'm pretty sure she said just tap this back 2 feet and we'll be good. So 2.5 feet maybe. So we'll try to be just backline. She's going to move this. She'd probably like to move it out, but she doesn't really have to. If she just moves it even just to be number 1-2, she's probably okay.
Yeah, she's 6'2", she's got the force. Even if she just freezes to the corner, but she's probably got the force. But that's a very precise shot.
Looked tight to me even. I haven't got a great angle at it. So.
And soft, I thought. It was curling right out of her hand.
I'm going to try to get this on the rings at least. Fujisawa won't be very happy with that. That just wasn't a good throw for her. Never really had a chance. She was obviously throwing enough weight to move it. She didn't need to really be much more in draw weight if she had got it out there. She didn't never quite get out to the room. So Artichuk now with a chance to sit 2 and set up a deuce.
From the outside in this time, and I heard her ask the brushers if they thought the same. It's funny, it looks like the same draw, but it's a completely different path of the ice. When you're coming from the outside in, it's not going to touch much of the same ice that you just threw down.
Yeah, and viewers might think, well, geez, they get practice, and they do. And this one's probably a line that they would have in practice, but sometimes they don't. So it's not always the same. The practice just goes down that same path all the time.
Yeah, it gets heated up down that path in practice.
This looks like it'll be okay. Want to even these up so there's no double.
No, it's last rock, so I wouldn't.
Oh, last rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah.
You like to put it on the button, though. That's the skipper always likes to know they got that weight in their back pocket. She's got it.
That's right.
She needs it later.
Yeah. So a deuce for Artichuk here in end number 2, and we'll go to break with a 2-2 tie here at the Stu Sells Toronto.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree, come use us for real estate.
So we are now back for end number 3. Early round action here at the Stu Sells Toronto. 2-2 tie for Artichuk and Fujisawa. Both skips kind of getting a deuce a little bit on their own the last couple of ends. So lots of rocks in play, Sean. So it should be, looks like they're going to keep that pattern going, which is always good for us.
Yeah, granted it's early and it's early in the event for these teams too, but it's something to watch for as well. You see 2 draws here in this end. Both came up just a little bit short of what the teams intended. You do find every once in a while you find a rink where one direction's quite the same speed as the other. Don't know if that's the case here, but just thought it was curious that they weren't bad, but both of them are about 5 feet short of what they had in mind. And here's another one that's not quite going to have the legs to get where they wanted to. They bury it and
sneak it by, but Fujisawa now will play the enter and come around. Lots of ice on this shot. 5 feet almost, so expect to get some pretty big curl.
We always have to assume that they're throwing in the order that we've got them on the roster. So Eureka Yoshida is the lead. Yumi Suzuki is the second. Shinami Yoshida is the third. And Satsuki Fujisawa in the house is the skip. And you pretty much have to do the same thing with the Artichuk team because we don't really know them either, although I did see Rajala's name on the back of her jersey, so we know which one she is.
Yes, yeah.
It's the fourth stone this end that's been lighter than what they'd like.
Yeah, it's odd.
It makes me wonder. We're just a little heavier going away, and you know that happens all the time. The speed will be consistent, but it becomes an important skill to be able to identify that. It's a little bit different when you'll have your draw weight in the second end, and you'll be just must have been light on that. Must have been light on that. No, you needed just a little bit more. That's the issue. So Evelyn Robert, I believe, is the second. Werner the lead is on the right. Jamie Smith is the third. And Artichuk in the house, the skip. The other thing when you try to introduce players like that is every once in a while, it's not the skip, it's actually in the house. Or the fourth thrower isn't actually the one in the house.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting call there.
Yeah, I don't mind what she's looking at. I mean, the middle is getting awfully plugged up when you've got last rocket. And she's got a couple of good options with this. You make the run straight back. You're great. If you're a little on the high side, you could go blue onto blue. You might actually spill both blues into the rings.
To getting what you were saying. She got one of them in the rings.
There's a biter.
Yeah.
She does also stay in front of the shot stone, though. Shooter's kind of in a way. You could see a sliver of that yellow, but you'd have to throw a bullet to make that board.
Yeah, so she's going to hit this outside one.
This is an
push it off.
Yeah, this is an ultra defensive call.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially, I think, given that you just saw what Fujisawa played, so if you said, well, we can have a couple other options here, she's probably going to chase things in the front, so I don't know if this is going to do you a lot of good, this shot. Gives you 2 rocks in the house, I guess, so. Looks like a very makeable raise here. Raise takeout.
Yeah, it does. And I.
She might not be playing that. She might go right through.
No, I think she's playing the raise, but quieter.
Okay.
Thought I saw her indicate like back 8 foot. So try to get just a sliver inside the nose, tap onto the yellow, move it back a little bit. Well, unless she thinks she can get far enough across the way. Here's a thought for you, Jim, and it's a great shot if you could make it. Could you get across the face enough to split the blue into the rings, just get 2 rocks into the rings? I don't think you can make it from the broom side. I think the corner guard's in the way, but could you cross it enough to get split?
She had to get by this guard first.
If she rolls over in front of it, that's worse. Now it's double guarded.
Well. Yeah, that's a little mini disaster, that one, I think.
This is fully buried.
Just a bit, because I wasn't thinking it was. I figured they could see part of that, but
yeah, the camera's not quite on the center line though. Still.
Yeah.
That's usually when you call down to the other end as a skip and you ask the lead, how much can you see? That's where the lead stands to tell you. You can see half.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, from my sweeping position, I can see a lot. Yeah. So now turn come around here for Team Artichuk. Jamie Smith's first here in the third end. Have to go on this. So the rock that came up short, Sean.
Yeah.
It's a bad result, but not exactly where she was trying to go. Fujisawa needs to get more than one rock here.
Yeah, it's just the potential. The better potential for an outcome is to play blue on the blue. It's a tougher shot. It's the one she settled on, though. It's another one of those ones where you've got options too, right?
Yeah.
As long as you make contact with the second blue, there's a lot of yellow shrapnel it could run into.
So a little bit.
Yeah, but there's that yellow shrapnel though.
Yeah, sitting number 2. And your number 2 is well behind the guard, so I'm pretty sure it's number 2. No, our overhead is a bit deceiving.
I wasn't prepared to call it just because I can't quite see the edge of the yellow rock on the overhead shot. So, but I would agree, from the overhead it looks like it should be the blue. Oh, there we go. That yellow's further in than we thought.
Yeah.
Further in than it kind of looks from the overhead. Again, half the rock is cut off. Further the rock is cut off.
So much room right now. Always cool. Always cool, Rock.
Artichuk trying to guard this one out.
Yeah, kind of that Christmas tree guard. I think they were looking to come in as well. You've got to get a piece under you. Leave her double, you let her out.
We got away with it.
Maybe just.
Yeah.
Quiet weight come tighter by the guard. You could probably get pretty close to the nose of this, kill the back one.
Yeah, I would agree with that one for sure. I figure that you're probably not getting both of them moving enough, probably not getting shot rock, but you can really improve it a lot here by getting to the 3/4 nose. 3/4 nose would be pretty good right now.
Yeah. Leave your shooting at those where they can't really get it out. Then they'd have to throw straight guard for your life kind of thing. Might not get the back one out. They're calling light. And it's still got a ton of room. Don't think it's that bad. I think her weight's fine.
Just not going enough. Haven't really had a great feel for the ice weight combination in this game. They've had 3 or 4 shots that are along like that where they just never really get close to.
Yeah. But realistically, they tapped that to where Artichuk would have liked the draw to be in the first place.
Yeah,
maybe not
exactly,
quite that deep, but the line, like she's got the Christmas tree going.
Yeah, it's perfect. There's no real good escape here for Fujisawa right now. She's got an out-turn draw around all that the button, but man, that's you got to be.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful with this draw. You don't want to leave. Again, you hang one out, you leave her triple. She's out at the end. And they looked about coming the other way. Same problem the other way. Like you could be 10 feet short on this, and you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
3 inches heavy, and you bounce off. They might all fly.
Yeah, that would be a disaster. It's one of those that you throw it and that happens, and you're like, well, if we didn't throw it, we would have been in good shape.
Yeah, better off if we don't throw it. Yeah, this could be straight guard. You'd be fine. In fact, the skip, so you're always trying to make everything, but it'd be one of those ones where you'd almost like to just, I'll throw this as a tight guard if the line's perfect. We'll try to sweep it in far enough to sit fourth.
Yeah, I think that's the approach on this. Pretty happy with the way it looks right now. Not going to be heavy. Fujisawa going to play this out-turn draw.
This would be a significantly tougher skip deuce than what she had in the first hit.
Yeah.
even if you make the first one, I don't know how you got room for a second one.
I was going to say, tough enough to make a skip single here.
Yeah. But you know what? She has to make it on this shot. If you don't make it on this shot, they throw the same shot with the other turn, you won't be able to get to the button for the last one. I don't know how you give up anything other than steal 2, in fact. I don't see any way to even cut it down.
Yeah, it's really tough, I think. It's
you could be fighting the 4-foot here, and she could still just throw a guard, and there might be nothing you could do.
Yeah.
This has to have, what do you say, 3/4 of the button, 3/4 of the rock in the button to be shot rock, and if you're not shot rock, you might not have a shot with your last one.
It's a really tough shot here for Satsuki Fujisawa. Trying to get a piece of the button. Well, trying to get more than a piece of the button. Trying to get a 3/4 of a rock on the button. Going hard to get it by everything. By the high one. By the tight one. Now will it stop?
Just touched that rock on the way by. I think the yellow's still shot. And here's the thing, if you get down to the face of it, tap it back 3 inches, now we could be looking at steal of 3 that I don't think she can do anything about.
Yeah. That was so close to being a great shot. Like
they had to go to get by everything, right? And it's still, don't have a replay. Well, I've got a cheat replay because I've got the YouTube feed, but it just rubbed that stone at the top of the 4-foot. And, you know, if it doesn't rub it, though, it might have slid too far anyway.
Yeah, no, I think it did. It probably was going to go. Well, it wasn't going to go any less than that. That's for sure.
Nope, for sure. But it might have been far enough back here already, too, which doesn't matter. I mean, she played this shot anyway. It ended up as bad a spot as it could for Fujisawa. So, like I said, she comes down to the face of this. I don't know how you move any of the yellows, and there won't be any place left to draw.
So Emma Artichuk now, her final rock here in the third end. Really nice shape right now.
Looks like a ton more room.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think a little panic on the sweep down there is going to probably improve the situation for Fujisawa a little bit.
Boy, she could almost make a shot for 2 here. If you could throw hack at it, come off the inside of it, you don't have to move that second yellow very far. Now, it's risky. If you don't get to the inside, it's probably back to being 3. But
I think you have to take a run. Basically, she throws the exact same shot she just threw. Should be fine.
Well, for one. I'm looking at do you take a shot for 2, in which case you got to have, at the very least, back line, because you got to hit about a third of that first one, you think? Looks like it from the overhead.
Yeah.
And still come across and move and nudge the second one, so you're going to lose some speed.
Yeah.
Back line probably does it. He needs to move a couple of inches.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go very far, but...
With your back line out of your hand, you can always sweep it for a little extra weight once you got the line.
Yeah, I think really third stone for Artichuk there. I think Jamie she just panicked a little bit on that shot. It wasn't really...
Yeah, I can't tell who called the sweep on, but somebody was calling hard line early, and to me it always looked like it had way more room than Fujisawa had.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta... I don't know what she was thinking on it, but anyway. Fujisawa now, kind of come by, trying to get this one to curl a little bit. It's going to be close. It's really close. That's didn't quite get the deuce, I don't think, but a great shot.
Didn't have to wait for a chance at 2, but got her single.
Yeah, it would have been really tough for her to convince herself to throw more. They're thinking about measuring this. I'd
be surprised if you couldn't get a stick in there.
Yeah.
4 4 rocks biting the button and somebody's going to score 1. Looks like so.
Yeah. Hang on for the measure here. Just while they're getting ready here, Sean, you think about this event and you think Stu Sells, and certainly in the eastern part of the country for sure, Stu Sankey is a huge promoter of curling, certainly Ontario East, and he sponsors a number of events. It's just amazing how many events have Stu Sells moniker with them. So
this is interesting to look at this one, because I thought they said 1 for sure. But the 2 they're measuring are actually the ones she just threw in the one at the side. Now, again, the camera is not directly over the pinhole, so that makes it a little tougher for us to tell too. But if this is a measure for 2, then that one at the back was shot rock.
That would be weird. That's it. I never even considered that would be shot rock.
Well, when we got this camera view, that yellow did look closer than the blue, which from the overhead, it didn't look close. But
so it looks like a steal of 1 now for Emma Artichuk. And she will take a 3-2 lead after 3 ends here when we come back after the break.
Curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we are back for 4th end action here at the Stu Sells Toronto. Watching on Curling Stadium Toronto this weekend with Jim Nix and Sean Joyce bringing you this one. Early round action in the round robin part of this bonspiel, and that one fooled us a little bit, Sean, but...
Well, it fooled us a lot. We better, explain that to everybody at home, because it certainly looked like they were measuring the 2 at the top of the button for 1. No, the rock at the back of the button that we thought was 3rd shot was shot. That was the one that they said was 1 for sure. They were measuring for 2nd, and it was the yellow that won the measurement. And so you and I went during the break and looked at the camera views. And you can tell that the camera here is not directly over the button. It's actually towards the front of the house. So when we're trying to judge front and back, we've got shot rock from our overhead. The view is going to be deceiving. You got to listen to the players, because hopefully they'll tell us who's got shot rock. This camera position at this end looks like it's a lot closer to the center line, because if you look at that rock that was just thrown from the overhead view, we can see pretty much a uniform amount of granite around the handle. But at the other end, you can see more of the granite around the handle on the front edge of the house. That camera, but it's just the nature of what you have to do. These buildings I've been through before. There's scouting and that cameras. Is that you have to have something to mount them to, and sometimes it's not quite as close to the pinhole as you'd like it to be.
Around here for Artichuk. Girls are working hard to make this one. It's just a little bit late today. It might just be, this might be just that half second slower than they're used to.
This will be the fifth stone at the end, and then Artichuk will have the choice to open up the middle a little bit if she'd like.
Just in front.
I think now she has to try to clean up the front a bit, but how do you get more than two of them?
If you just quit that one, that's fine. 7
Artichuk going to play her own onto the blue if she can make that. Might put the blue one in a bad place if she does, but
yeah, that would be my thought. Like the other double is certainly looks easier without any. Like you could very easily make yellow on a blue and kill her in the yellow out of the ring. Which great if she makes contact with the shot stone, but that would be tough.
pretty good. They asked for 7.5. I'd say that was probably about that. So anyway, lots of time everything else.
They got exactly what I said. If you get that one in the range, it could work out great. It did. So now it's, you've kind of put the onus on Fujisawa team to make a decision. It looks like she's going to play the run back when you're playing guards off the center here. This is not the way you'd like to play without last rock, but what else can you do with that yellow one in the position it's in?
Straight back, double raise take out or double run back, whatever way you like to word it. She's going to get all the blue. Oh, she didn't get all the blue ones, but easier. Set up a nice corner guard for Artichuk though.
I gave him more, but we're trying to cross center, right?
Pretty good. Nicely done.
I'd like it just a little bit deeper. I mean, this still has to be made, but the angle is such that if she plays the blue back, you could get the blue and kill both yellows. If that blue in the 12-foot wasn't there, you'd look at this and say, well, that's a pretty good angle for a double.
Yeah, agree. Basically be attempting something like that, just a matter of whether or not they can throw it hard enough to move that many rocks, but
it doesn't necessarily have to get set right, either just get over towards it, that's great.
Yeah.
And, if it over curls just a sliver and you go straight back and leave the 2 blues in the middle, that's pretty good too. So she's got options here. She kind of got caught in between, and they didn't want to over-roll that, so nobody swept the roll at all. It goes over a couple more inches. It's tough now, but it's makeable. Roll it 2 more inches. I don't know if she could get it out.
I don't think she could, not without playing the run back. This one. You can sneak it by. Looks like she might get a by. No such luck. Hold on would be good. Not a great result for the Artichuk squad. Gives Fujisawa a chance to sit 3 here.
Yeah, still not sitting in a great position to steal, but you certainly could get a force. I don't think there's much she could do with this roll to make it any tougher. So you're probably better off to hit this right on the nose. You roll half underneath the other blue, you actually could leave it a chance to put the double and roll across behind cover. That's really good. She could play the double now, but if she does, she's got to stay in the open. She's looking at hitting the shot stone rolling in front of the other blue. That's not a bad option either. Even if you overroll it slightly and you're not shot rock, it's still, how does Fujisawa get rid of it?
Yeah, she might not even try. She might come around just try to come around the guard.
She might, or late enough in the end, go for the force by sitting 2, yeah.
This one's going to come up a long way yet.
It's not going to hit the rock they were playing.
So yeah, she's real happy with that. I assume she must have got a little bit outside. I think we've seen those shots today. They'll be outside. You're not getting them back. So Fujisawa with the takeout.
Yeah, I'm greedy here from Fujisawa a little bit. You want to come off that yellow, come across the top of your blue, move it back a little bit, and spin up. You'll still leave them more or less lined up, but you can get a little bit of separation between them where it makes the next shot a little tougher. Plus, you really get a piece of the forefoot. If you ever get a mistake, you're guarding a rock that might have a chance to steal.
Pretty hard. See if they can get a little bit of inside flop. Maybe not. They're heading the direction you wanted to go there, Sean.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite get there.
Artichuk's got a choice to make, though. Are you playing the double, in which case you're going to get forced, or do you play the hit and roll in behind the 2 corners, and you might still have a chance for 2. You could just straight draw there, too.
Yeah.
I know, because if you look at the back line,
Looks like she's playing the roll. I don't know. I don't have any issue with this shot. I think if I'm going to play this, I might be inclined to just play the straight draw. You're eliminating 1 rock, but
Well, you're creating more room, too. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was thinking the same thing. The problem is if you ever don't make the draw, she throws one basically with the R in park, and I'm not sure how you score it.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to go really wide around the out turn, which would be a guess. I don't think anybody's thrown a draw out that wide.
I nothing wrong with this one either, so she'll see how she gets along here. Turn pretty solid, can wait. Just a curl. This is not going to do a lot.
It opens up a little more room for her last draw. That's about it.
So Fujisawa now with a chance to come right around the center guard. Make this pretty tough on Artichuk.
Yeah, that's certainly what she's going to look at. You got two choices. I wonder if they're going to look at the second one. You could come straight around, or again, come basically level with the, so line with the edge of the R, and about half an 8 foot like the other one, and she can't hit either one of them and be shot. She wouldn't have a draw path. That's a pretty precise draw, though. Try to put it on a spot that small. They should know the path when they come around here. We know it's there. But movement on the draw, like she doesn't even have to get, I don't think, Jim, she doesn't even have to get that tight by the one in the 12 foot. But she could still be fully on the other side of center as she comes by it and still dead bury it, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Satsuki Fujisawa. Looking to make things difficult on Artichuk here.
Depending on where this is, but...
Ooh, sweepers on this one really early and on it hard, so gotta believe she's a little bit on the light side. Going hard, looks like they might do the job. Actually need to get some curl now.
Yeah, well, they had to jump it early, so they held the line. How much did they leave? That's just about all. You know, it's interesting. If that's a third to half buried, it becomes a real tough rock to remove, and you can't draw to beat it, so you got to throw the weight to move it. She's got enough here that it's probably going to feel pretty comfortable getting into the hacks.
Yeah.
You can see almost all of it.
Yeah, the sweepers just got a little overexcited on that one with the weight. They had a little bit of wiggle room there if they had been able to get off that a little tiny bit sooner and just try to maybe carve it in there a little bit better.
Yeah,
Leave it just a little higher, but
ideally you'd like just a little bit more weight out of your hand, though. And a shot like that, ideally, you'd like to throw it so that the sweepers can take it at the end, because then they can bury it. They did have to go a little bit early, just maybe not quite as early as they did, but still, it's a pretty good shot, and it's forced a tougher shot from Emma Artichuk here.
oh, for sure. Yeah. So a big shot here for Artichuk. Fourth end, last rock in the fourth end. Working hard on it.
That rock at the top 12, she's got to get by. She's got to stay just to that side of center.
Really close, really close. Whoa, great sweeping. They just sneak it by for a single here to tie this one up. We're going to see the replay here.
Yeah, I don't think they really needed to go for the roll underneath like this, but...
Yeah, they're like me. They forgot that the end was over.
Got the perfect roll buried with the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, you see this coming in.
Evelyn Robert on the brush.
Yeah.
If that's rough, it's probably 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we end up with a 3-3 tie here after 4 ends, and we'll be back right after the break.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Who knew after 20 years of real estate, I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree, come use us for real estate.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So we're back. So Sean, after a great shot by Emma Artichuk with a lot of help from this Evelyn Robert and getting that one by to tie this one up in the last game. We're going to have one more look at it.
Maybe they're still just coming in.
Yeah, had to jump it right out of her hand. I don't know whether she was a little tight. We're not in a position to see that, but it was curling early. And had to get by this rock. You're about to see it come into view in the 12 with there. And boy, I've seen it 5 times now, and I'm still not sure she got by.
Yeah, still not sure that happened. Yeah.
It was tight.
Anyway, yeah, it really was. It was a great shot, and everybody had a lot to do with that one, except for the one sweeper that had the luxury of just cheering on Robert coming down the sheet. Sometimes that happens. So
I'll tell you what, when I'm sweeping now, I love being that sweeper.
Yeah.
My only job is cheerleader.
Yeah. Yeah, and some teams that you get that job no matter what, no matter who's sweeping or what the shot is. They just keep moving you to the other side. So anyway.
I'm not sure they've given me a break if they're going to need something to aim at.
Yeah. So we're 4 or 5 rocks in here. The 5th end. Good game's been some good shots and been just enough misses to kind of keep it interesting as well, but the skips have been in some trouble, definitely, for sure.
Well, that tends to happen when you play with enough rocks in play, and sometimes the skips are going to have not a lot left to shoot at.
Yeah.
This end looks like it might be a little bit more open with that rollout on the last one. We're now at the 6th stone of the end, so Fujisawa with a chance to try to play this through for the blank, and you can certainly imagine in an 8-end game, a lot of these teams would be thinking in the 5th end, we've tied up, we've got last rock. If we could ever blank this end, it's 2 hammers to 1.
Yeah, that would definitely be the game plan here, and you can tell that by the fact that the shot they played there, they're hoping to be able to do that. Basically, you've got 5 takeouts to make it. No hitting something or missing something, then you should be able to have a pretty good shot at blanking this end.
I'm just gonna be a stir the pot type of guy here, because I'm just thinking of this for the first time now. You never see it, but you know, when you get into this game, and I'm sure you've been here talking to me in these games before, we see this all the time in the end like this, where a team is playing for the blank because it puts them in a great spot. If you're the other team, instead of throwing these guards on the center, I'm not saying I do it, but I'm just, you know, being a disturber. Would you ever think about throwing the corner guard and seeing if you could tempt them to come around?
Well, it's interesting, Sean.
I mean, you might give up 2, but...
Yeah, you might for sure, but we do see them sometimes in the last ends now when they're moving guards around without hammering tie games and things where they're like, well, we got to get a guard somewhere, so let's get one over here. And they throw it out into the 8-foot somewhere. So
Yeah,
not exactly the same scenario, but same idea.
She's she's playing for a blank right now. Why? There's. I'm thinking about it myself for the first time right now. If you're the team without last drop, you don't really want her to blank.
Yeah.
What if you throw it to the corner? Would she try to come around it? And if she did, could you chase and get a force that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something to think about for sure. At least for us, because we're not on the ice.
Yeah.
We're not too worried. Is there any way you can give up 3 doing this? Well, I don't care. I'm just watching the game.
Yeah. So one more appeal attempt. This one by third Shinami Yoshida. She will get enough.
We're going to throw the corner guard and try to get her to change her game plan. This is a good shot to do it. She's got 3 left. Right, you do it here, and you might convince him to draw. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there's a risk you can give up 2, but if you get the blank here, you give up 2 and 6. You're in worse shape than if you give up 2 here and get the hammer back at 6. Not sure everybody was playing the same shot there.
Well, you know what? I don't know either. I heard somebody at some point holler down just top 4 or something, and I didn't see Emma Artichuk. I didn't see her respond to that necessarily. So, yeah. They got to get this one to move. This has got to curl. Can they get enough to get it out?
This is a sneaky way to get a force.
Going hard. Skipper proving her worth. Wow, that was close to changing things a little bit.
You know, it's hanging on in enough of a spot, though, that I think if you ever jammed on it, you'd be in the rings now. You almost were Skip's first here. I think if you're ever thinking about getting that, you have to play it here. You go to the middle, Fujisawa hits on the nose, and you're trying to hit and roll to a perfect spot to do that. And maybe it's too far back. It's again, this is the end of the sheet where our camera view distorts a little bit. Maybe it's far back, but even if you jam it, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
They didn't even take a look at playing for that direction. So maybe it's too far back.
9-5. Close. 9-5. Very good, Ed.
So Artichuk with another draw. This one into the rings. On purpose.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, I'm not sure you want this one into the rings either. I mean, if you want to force her, you throw a guard here. You throw this into the rings. She's going to try to hit more towards that corner one. Now they kept it far enough to that second inside shoot. There's a good it's far enough out. I mean, you'd have to jam it at a real bad angle to move it towards.
So looking for a little roll to the outside here. It's the first end we've had like this with so little action. She will not hang around, so.
Well, which one's easier to get a jam in front of?
Yeah, I can't see the one on the left-hand side there yet, so.
She's thinking You got two ways to look at this, because now I'm looking at something different. You could try to get, I think it rolled out.
Yeah, that was odd. Just
Yeah, they were playing the freeze to it initially, and then Fujisawa team came by and you can't really see the. I mean, there is a line in the ice, like the center line, but it's a thinner one, so it's really hard to see from the overhead camera where the divider line is.
It's just really odd to see the three people that are wanted in not do anything with it. And the thrower comes down the sheet and kicks it off right on her way down. It just looked weird, but nobody seemed to roll their eyes at it or anything, so it must have been out. Artichuk will try to get it over there somewhere in the vicinity of that rock that's just off the back of the 12-foot. Help create a little bit of a possible jam. So it's got to slow down a little bit, I think. It's pretty quick. I don't know if they can get it out. They won't get it out, so it does a trick. They're probably not ever going to get a jam anyway. It's more about make somebody steer one the wrong way somewhere. So Fujisawa looking to blank for sure. Just trying to talk it over, see which way to go. The out turn.
Biggest shot since the rollout on the fourth stone at the end. Yeah. Gave him the setup to go for this blank.
It'd be hard to have this one curl up a little too much on you, though.
Japanese look great, but that's how they're clean, so.
Yeah. They use a few more words. So good job by Team Fujisawa there. Nice way to play that in for them. Worked out really well for them, and we'll go to the sixth end, tied up at 3, with Fujisawa having hammer. We'll be back right after the break.
We are here at the RBC Bloor West Village branch, and I'm here with two of their best mortgage brokers, Keith Joel and Dave Thompson. RBC has been an amazing sponsor of my curling season for about 10 years. And Keith, why is it so important to be involved in the community and sponsor youth sports?
First of all, Stuart, it's been a fantastic 10 years. I'm so happy to be involved, and so is RBC. We enjoy being out there, meeting all the curlers, and having a lot of fun along the way. So thanks for that.
I just want to say I'm with you. I'm a big supporter of the community, and I just want to let everyone know all my mortgages with RBC, all my accounts are with RBC. It's an amazing bank. These are great mortgage brokers. So look, go to rbc.com and come into the Bloor West Village branch and visit these great guys.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey, all you curling fans sitting at home watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard here at StuCurls.com. Look, High Park's just down the road. We're here in the Junction. If you bring the map card with you, come to Caribou Gifts and start your Christmas shopping early and get some great gifts for the family.
So back for end number 6, and I'm thinking, Sean, after blanking that end, we would expect to see Fujisawa get a little more aggressive at trying to manufacture a couple of points here in the 6, since it's not a horrible end to have been forced if you're going to get forced.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole reason she played for the blank as soon as the opportunity opened up. And to exactly to your point, she ignores the center guard here, throws the corner. Artichuk will look to come around the center, and then the really interesting call could be the next one. You could ignore the center again and come around your corner.
Jala. Pretty good. It's going to grow a lot to be but it's starting to move pretty hard.
Well, it is shot rock and it is mostly buried, but if you want to ignore it, go around the corner. Rocking the 12 foot's not much of a threat.
It looks like she's going to.
Yeah. A little bit of a pop on the release. This is going to run straight for a bit.
Hit by that guard.
Yeah, so no tick zone guard yet.
She's by it. By it and buried, probably.
Boy, just barely by the yellow guard, and look where this is going to end up. But she was tighter to the yellow center. Almost didn't get by the yellow center, and it's, if anything, a piece out in the open past that corner guard. Wow.
Yeah, that's that went a long ways. Still a good shot. Artichuk tried to follow that down.
So that hole between those two guards, not as big as it looks. Because, I mean, if she's tight by the blue one, that's out in the open.
Yeah. Robert. It's Robert, not just Robert, but...
Early run!
On this, so I'm assuming it's light and tight.
Bounced it enough that it didn't leave them overlap, but does completely cover that stone.
So we're now going to remove the center guard. Could ignore it, I guess, Sean, but this is probably makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, you're still going to be double guarded in a shot rock position. This way you take away the rocket. If Artichuk ever decides you can't get to the one in the corner, we only need two, maybe we switch gears and try for the steal, or this is the rock that she needs to keep to go for the steal.
Probably just like to roll.
Yeah, I elected to stop about a foot earlier.
Yeah, could have taken away kind of the...
Yeah.
Both of them.
Still, I mean, Artichuk's going to play the draw. She's playing a chase around the corner. This is the end that the Fujisawa team wants to play. Play everything around the corner and see if we can set up an angle or get something good to have a shot for two, or, you know, three or more is not out of the question too when you're playing chase around the corner.
No, we used to always say that, you know, don't be chasing around the corner. I still tell the kids that when I'm working with them, like, be careful you don't start chasing around corners. But today's game, it's hard not to do that sometimes. So
yeah, well, look at the setup here. Like, what is your choice? And really, the choice I see, because we're still only on the seconds last stone. She just peeled the center guard, so obviously she doesn't want one. You could throw one more. She's going to peel it again.
Good Just leave an opportunity.
I want to say I don't think he can get to the inside even after do it, but we saw the draw. So
yeah.
I'm not positive that he can.
It would be tough. I think she's looking at Chapin and rolling back towards where she is. So
yeah. The problem with that it's the yellow one coming back. It's dead behind it. Almost if you could actually roll past the yellow out into the open on the other side of the 8-foot. That would be great.
Yoshida. Suzuki still. Get by. It's going to be good there.
She's going to way far enough.
Yeah. That was a hard one because it was difficult to get on it really hard. You still got to curl a little bit to get by the yellow one, and then all of a sudden it's too far to get the roll, and that's exactly where you end up. Right in the open. It's definitely not where you want to be.
Can't get enough to the inside to make the double, I don't think. Just hit and roll over to the side of that rock. Takes him with a really big end, probably, anyway.
Yeah. Jamie Smith. The skipper and the thrower all in the sweep on here. She's going to get the outside roll, which is good. Good shot. Might be gettable.
They swept that a little bit. They had a little bit of room by the guard, and they didn't get enough of a roll. Basically, it's the same shot here, different thrower though.
Yeah.
Gotta get the bigger roll here.
Unfortunate.
So now Yoshida's going to deliver this one for the Fujisawa team. Inside out, but
yeah, pop.
Get a little bit more than that. Try to get it by their blue. She roll. That's a great shot.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, really nice shot. Yeah, it's a short run back, but you can't help that. That was going to be there no matter what.
No, but it is one of those ones, you've heard this before, not just us, you've heard it from a lot of commentating crews. You almost want to make that too good, because if she absolutely sticks this run back, she'll be buried behind her own shooter, and you could make the double back, but you won't be second shot. If you ever don't get stick this behind, if you leave it staggered, you might give her room to roll back behind the corner, and then threes in play.
I think this is going to have a hard time getting on the nose from behind.
It's trying. Not going to get there.
So now you got a problem if you're Artichuk, no question.
Got a little problem with Fujisawa. I'm not sure I'm as inclined to ignore my own stone there. She's going to play the hit and roll behind the corner.
Saw him coming around the corner. How deep is she going to try to go with this, Sean?
How deep is she going to try to go, or how deep would I try to go?
Well, let's go with you.
I would want to be dead even with the shot stone, so that if she gets the roll over towards the guards, you run into the side of the stone and you stay open. Because that's her get out of jail shot right now. You leave her a hit and roll in behind the corner anywhere, and that's how she gets out of jail. That's how she gets rid of all these rocks from counting.
So
just needs to stop.
Maybe a little deep, or we'll stay.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's too deep. She can roll over a corner in front of that, and you'll never get this out.
So we take the whole thing away here, no question. Just hit probably about a half a stone. You hit the other one and even spin back up just a hair to stay behind the guard. You're in pretty good shape.
Even as a double, it's a good shot.
Yeah.
And if that rock is a foot higher, she can't really make a double. She can roll into the side of it.
Yeah.
But if she rolls into the side of it, her shooter's still wide open.
Yeah. Excellent point.
And you can't be, at the same time, you can't be 2 feet higher. If you're 2 feet higher, she can roll under it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, that draw, it's almost like fool's gold. It's really tough to be in a perfect spot there.
Yeah.
It's, I'd have been tempted to do something, even if, tempting to throw open side or throw one into the shield on the other side of the 8 foot. Yeah, she's got a double, but she's got a double where she's got to roll open, and it's still got to be made.
Yeah, I think that's, I liked the initial call. I thought it sounded like it was a big thing, but
it's just, you knew she was going to make a play on this stone, and I just didn't like giving her an option to roll towards the corners and take everything away. And then on top of that, you put your stone in just you're sitting 3 and you know, it's biting the 4 foot. And it's real easy to say that's a great shot, but it's really not in a good position.
she's going to get away with it though. This one's going to curl too much.
Sit. Whoa.
Unless it rolls behind the guard.
Oh. Sorry.
It's not a bad roll, though. At least it takes away the chance for Fujisawa to go the other way.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Fujisawa was thinking about the draw, and I don't mind this because that last draw was too deep. So Artichuk's get into jail still to get something in front of that. Well, the way you stop her from doing that is you get in front of it yourself first. She could sit 2 doing this.
Definitely a big missed opportunity to make the curling stadium turning point on that shot, because it was a get out of jail free kind of shot for Artichuk.
Yeah, she hit it that much on the other side. She hit it the wrong side, but got the roll she wanted, but the wrong direction.
Yeah, just a little twist inside on the release and just kind of got it coming away and never really had a chance. But
even had it stopped for shot, she'd have made Fujisawa play it at least, and then she would have a chance to do this.
Yeah.
This still has to. Can't slide behind the tee line here. Even if you're top 8 take the pathway to this stone, and you're only sitting shot 3rd and 4th, it's still a big trouble spot for Artichuk. You're 1 shot away from giving up 4. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do with your next one if this is full 8 covering the path to that one?
I like this shot if you make it, though. I think it's, you could have hit the other one, but then she's probably going to force her to play this shot. So
she's going to play this for the life. It couldn't be this far short, though. Now she's coming around.
That's, can't be happy with that. That was many feet short.
Okay, I just said 2. We're taking the extra drawing button. Okay.
Another opportunity for Artichuk to escape the sand.
T line. We're probably not going to get all the way to this one, so it's kind of like a straight draw. What do you guys think for speed?
Quite sure what that mark was, but
I think they asked if she was playing the 3. She didn't think she could get quite. It's so far over Barry, she didn't think they could get quite through the 3. So it's a straight draw.
so Artichuk, her final rock here in the 6th end. In trouble, but with a chance to get out of it.
She popped that one with a 2. If you stay out here, you could leave a double, and it's still for 3.
This is going to curl a ton.
You could hear her talking about top 4 at this line. She wants to leave the jam in play. Gotta get shot rock. Didn't. I mean, it won't be shot for more than 2 if you double the jam. that was just a tough one because of the way she threw it. She was a little in and out again, and it wasn't getting behind the guard. Well, if you come a foot deeper, foot and a half deeper with your shot, you leave a double with no jam, and that's for 3. So it was a tough spot for the sweepers to be in. You sweep that in for shot, there's a chance you're giving up 3.
Yeah, it was kind of she threw both of them sort of the opposite but the same, if you will. Like the outs, she threw the in-turn and kind of did it outside in and threw it on the right of the target, and then the out-turn she did it inside out and threw it right of the target. So both rocks were kind of didn't start on the right path. That was pretty decent lead they had about there. Yoshida now with a chance to, or Fujisawa rather, with a chance for 2 here. And maneuver through some rocks, but
she took enough ice to make sure she was by the one that was just thrown. And we haven't seen a lot of draws thrown quite that wide. So pretty good guess on the speed, though.
She got her 2, so nice job by Fujisawa there. After the first one coming up several feet short, made a nice adjustment, picks up a couple. We'll take a 5-3 lead after 6 ends of play here at the Stu Cells, Toronto. We'll be back right after the break.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
So we're back, 2 more ends to go, wearing an extra end. So just as we were just finishing off the break there, Sean, you mentioned double corners on to try to get 3 here. Is it you pretty much sold on that double corner, same side double corner thing, or are you looking at splitting the double corners?
Well, when she played it there, I think they're playing the 2 of them on the same side, although I don't think that's where they called it. You could just hear the mics a little bit as we were coming back to the break, and I thought I heard them say 1, which I think is what they were calling. It's a little lot deeper down. I mean, if you're playing 2 corners on the same side, that's still pretty good. I mean, you've got lots of room to get separation in the 2 guards.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I wouldn't have expected her to try the first one there either. Number 1 is like only 6 inches from being hittable, so
yeah,
it wouldn't be that tight.
No, they certainly wouldn't have thrown it that tight on purpose, but it's one of those situations where I personally see it far too often when they want to play the 2 guards to the same side or even to the center line. If you happen to get, I don't like this call. If you happen to get the first one halfway, it's really tough to throw the second guard. This is almost. This is iffy. If you're thinking 3.
Yeah, I think this is iffy even if you're thinking 2. I just think it's like.
Well, there's no point in thinking 2. If you're thinking 2, then try for the blank here and try to get the 3 coming home. If you get 3 coming home, you win. If you get 2, you get an extra end.
Yeah.
Here, if you get 2, you've got the hammer against you coming home. It's not ideal.
Yeah. Trying to get to the nose at least with this blue one. Not going to quite get there. close.
Got a sliver in front of
Yeah, made a nice little finish there to get a little bit more out of it.
Better than it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah, Fujisawa will follow that down. Yeah, I think no matter what you were going to do with that rock, whether you're going same side or other side, I just think you need to have another corner guard up there on that shot. Really looked crazy.
To be fair, it's easier for you don't. I either want 3 or I don't care if I give up 1, but
yeah.
I'm not playing.
Yeah. He's working hard, trying to get on the top of the yellow, and they will do a pretty good job. Quite get there, but it's a pretty nice shot, good spot. Not much for Artichuk to work with right now.
No, she's got to look at it now because you've got 4 in the middle. What are you going to do to move things around? I'd like to move the one in the 8 foot. I was looking at, do you ever split the guard off the center line and try to shoot her in into the corner?
Yeah, it might not be bad because right now it's shots.
You can do the same thing with this attempt. If you jiggle too many rocks, if you jiggle the 2 that are frozen, you create a way to get that yellow out. I don't think you really want to let them kill that yellow this early.
Good crowd in the house, it looks like, for early round action. Capturing sort of a little chip and roll shot here for gonna do what you suggested anyway, yeah. If it stops, it needs to stop. And it will not. I don't think they ever maybe saw that possibility, it doesn't seem, Sean, because you could have probably done a little adjustment there halfway down.
Not until too late, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Forgot what color she was showing from there.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Yeah. I think the little chuckles at the end sort of helped Satsuki was just going after the blue on the yellow.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm in love with this goal. You could just guard.
Good, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you don't guard in the middle, I'm more inclined to hit the corner guard than this one.
Well, that was my first thought, was hit the corner guard, because your setup here is pretty good. It's not going to be easy for Artichuk to move things around and pull away from her.
You're actually dealing with the middle for her, and then she's going to try to get her on the corner, either at a hit and roll or a straight. She could even straight draw, depending on the skill.
Yeah, because you can move this stuff around enough that Artichuk just says, "Oh, hey, this is not so bad. I'll come around the corner, just ignore all that."
Yeah. She was going to have to deal with this middle situation at some point in time, and you're doing it for her.
Yeah. Well, it worked. 4-4 on the score sheet, but
this goal either.
no, I don't know. Unless she thinks she's going to be able to blank this, it's you've kind of almost given up on scoring here.
I like just to hit the one in the middle and roll towards the corner, or you could draw it back and certainly understand what she wants to get rid of the one on the 4 foot.
Yeah.
But play the hit and roll off the one on the 4 foot. Leave the other one. You might need it to come off of later. It's not a threat where it is. The rock she's hitting first is not a threat.
See what she gets here. She needs to hit about.
Spin across.
Pretty good.
It's better than what they called.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks looks a little more difficult on the long view here than I think it is. When you look at the overhead, this looks like she could hit this on the inside and make this double, but you know, she could have first. But she's got to get both yellows out, though, or she gives Artichuk a chance here to... That's a nice shot. Nicely done.
If you're trying to score here, you got to freeze.
Try and make it if you stick it.
If you're hitting, you're trying to get back to a blank.
Yeah.
Take like a third.
Peel with about a foot of ice. That's... Seems like she is. Really wants to roll. Stay there. Whoa. Really needed that one to come across and get a little closer if you're hoping blanket, I think.
See the wheels spinning for Fujisawa here. It's like, okay, where do we put this rock? Because we split the house where we know we've got them forged. They're going to freeze to that back one. So this, they're trying to put this in a spot, bite the corner of the forefoot, where even if she made the freeze at the back, she's not shot rock.
That's right, yeah.
The problem is that you maybe she can still get out of the blank, but boy, you sure don't want this one behind the tee line, because then Artichuk's got all the choices. She could play some kind of corny freeze.
It's going back there. It's going way back there.
Yeah, it's back there. They don't want them even for sure. Double's there. Corner freeze is there. She's looking at the double.
Yeah, I kind of figured that the way she played the last couple of shots, so she'd probably play it. Look at this as an opportunity.
Yeah, I can't fault her for this one. You're down to 3 rocks left. You certainly don't want to get forced to a single. Take no chances coming home with last rock. If you get a deuce, you've at least got an extra in. But if you ever get 3 coming home, you win.
It's going to be in between a little bit. Unfortunate there.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, the nice thing about it, as long as she rolled past it, which she did, it's hard for Fujisawa to separate these rocks now. She rolls to the outside, she could roll out of the ring. She's going to have to leave an easier double this time, I think. Yeah. That's what you see them talk about. Maybe the easiest way to not leave a double is to roll absolutely perfectly in front of it.
Fujisawa now. The out-turn hit. A lot of discussion about that, but I didn't quite know what it was. So. Not throwing a lot of weight on this.
Can roll in front of it. That's a pretty good roll. I mean, she didn't have a lot of room to play with rolling that direction, and she left the double really thin.
Would you ever just ignore this and freeze to that
one? No. Not at this point in the end, I don't think. This is, if we're going to play the freeze, corner freeze, and play it earlier in the end, yeah. But this is a tough double. So you really need to make a choice here. Are we playing the double? Or are we trying to hit and roll and jump in front of the blue? Because you could still get out of it with a blank rolling in front, too. But this is not an either-or shot. You really have to commit to one or the other.
Yeah, I think if I'm playing the hit, I'm playing the double, but because at this point I'm going to hit something, then I might as well hope to have hammer coming home. So. Just working hard on this.
Queen.
She's close to it. And nicely done. Good shot for Artichuk.
There are certainly teams in the world that would play the freeze here.
Yeah. Have another look. A little bit of panic early. Never really was much doubt on that one, I don't think. It was pretty much...
Yeah, nice double to Anna roll. Just to change the shot a bit if she does decide to play the freeze. And like I said, there are teams here that would play the freeze, and they're doing it saying, we're not going to give you the blank.
Yeah.
She's playing the hit all the way here. You make the freeze, you've almost got the force.
Yeah.
And the worst case scenario, you give up 2, you've got last rock coming home.
Yeah. So with the intern hit now. Trying to make it curl a little bit.
They want to stick around. They want to make her make a play on it.
And they will. As far as blanks go, this is I shouldn't say an easy blank. Sometimes it seem to be the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's a short roll either way. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It's the one where you can tend to let up because you think, oh, we've got such a short rollout.
Yeah.
And you maybe tighten up the broom too much or don't throw it quite as hard, but you think you don't have to roll quite as far. And it could very easily come up to the nose.
Yeah, exactly. So Artichuk with the blank attempt here in this end number 7. Big shot for Emma. She really does need to make this.
She stabbed that back a bit.
Yeah.
It will run.
Right to it.
She's going to make it. So a little bit of few nervous moments on the way, but Artichuk does make the blank and make the hit and roll out. And we'll retain hammer as we go to end number 8 right after this.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So we're back for end number 8. Potentially the final end, but we never know. Artichuk's trailing by 2, but with hammer in end number 8. And we will see some corner guards go up. Just a matter of where they're going to go. That
looks like a split the house double guard for me.
Yeah, it's kind of in that middle range where you're talking about the last end. It's just always hard to make that double guard when the first one ends up kind of halfway-ish. So a couple rocks away from being able to remove much here for Team Fujisawa. I'll put it on the center line.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to play that. You come right into the rings again, you know she's throwing another guard, and then you can guard two in the house, and she's got to deal with the middle.
Yeah, I surprised seeing a guard go up there in that situation.
That center guard's so high, it'd be tempting here to throw the other corner.
Yeah.
Like you can get to that shot stone for me to turn right now.
Yeah, this is seems to be sort of her game plan with this situation. It's 2 ends in a row that she's had this, and she's gone with it. Coming to the center just a little bit on the early side. A lot on the early side, perhaps.
Well, yeah, I think it kind of forces her to use that center guard a little bit to try to establish one of these points before you come around the corner, which, you know, it can work for you. It's just it's playing in the middle a little more than I'd like here.
Yeah. Sweeper's indicating it might be a little bit light. That must be pretty good. Really good, apparently.
A little deeper than what they thought, too. They were calling top 12, and they ended up tapping it an inch.
Good shot, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to follow it down. It's really hard when you're the team. I'd rather be up 2 than down 2, but it's really hard when you are the team that's up 2 to not play this like basically a full-out steal almost. So.
Yeah, whenever you get into it, like earlier in the game, the team with last rock is always going to, as an option, you know, a blank is always something that they're going to consider. But they're not thinking about a blank. They're going to play full-out aggressive, and it's really hard to stop a team from scoring too, and you have to be real careful when you're playing draws like this, not to give them a chance to score 3. They're hoping to get a couple of good angles and one mistake, and 3 might be in play.
What do you have in
Hammer anything.
No, they're not hammering it for sure.
So she is going around the corner.
Shots earlier, and if you remember that one, Jim, this hole is not as big as it looks. So remember, and I think it was Fujisawa's team that made it and almost hit the guard on the center line and ended up just a sliver over buried on the corner guard. This port might be a little smaller than that one was too.
You're exactly right, and I think you're right on that too. This one can be a little bit tighter. I think they're going to be okay. They're going to get through that port.
Well, it's fine if you bury it.
Straw in there, eh? Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so I guess
thin slivers, all you can see.
So you peeling the corner guard if you're Fujisawa?
I have a feeling there's going to be a timeout because you got to make a firm commitment here. Where if you're hitting, it'd be great to make that. You do have the either or. You could get rid of the corner guard and try and play that. The other option is you throw the center guard force Artichuk to start dealing with the rocks in the middle.
Yep. We get a brief timeout here. So, coach.
If you go after the rock in the rings too, it's pretty hard to. Just looking at the angle of the ones in the house, like if you get to it, your shooter's coming towards the shot rock at the top of the button too.
そういえばさ、青にちょっとかっこよかったんだけど。そうそうそう。アングル変えたらね。
Sure, coaches the Fujisawa team.
I feel like they should know not just doing that.
I do too.
See it clear enough on my picture on the small screen. It's not AJ Lind, is it? Lind out of Alberta?
Might just be. So after all of that, they've decided to run this new guard.
I said the wrong initial. It's JD. It's JD Lind. That's who it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's who it was.
He used to be the Japanese program. I guess I was right there. Is that the Chinese one? Anyway.
This is curling early. Okay with the either or, but you had to get out of the way and you didn't.
Yeah. You had to get either or, yeah.
I like the out-turn freeze to jiggle off that situation in the middle. Get to the inside of the top blue one. Push the yellow to frozen on the shot stone. She's talking about nose, even that'll work. I was thinking get to the inside, so if you roll to the inside, then you got the blue to slash in to kill the other blue, but
So throwing, obviously, a normal kind of takeout weight at this shot. Not exactly sure what they asked for, but it's like about normal weight ice.
yeah, if you're trying to hit nose, you're trying to kill the shot stone. If you're hitting nose, the blue's going to pop. The angle's not going to be great.
Move this over to get.
It's not horrible, but it's still the only one she can get at directly is his fourth shot. She's probably going to have to play her own stone. There's still a way to get a double on the yellows, though. You half a rock on the blue, your shooter comes across and takes out the one that's just thrown. Should at half rock be pretty close to dead sticking the blue behind the guard.
Yeah, the only problem, I guess, if I see a problem with that, is that you have that yellow one's affording you a little bit of protection on that blue one.
It is.
4 foot, but
I'm not entirely sure you can't get it. It looks like it's just about fully open with that guard as long as it is. You could probably get across the face of it enough to get it out. And
if you can do that, then I think
you could guard. You could guard. I don't know that I would, but
yeah,
it's an option.
Yeah. Yeah, we just feel really like a very lonely blue rock in the house if I played the guard. So.
Yeah, it would. Well, she could always just throw another draw in, and you don't really. There's still enough rocks left in the end. She doesn't really need to bring either of those outside yellows in to count 3. You could draw and sit 2, and still have a shot for 3 somewhere down the road.
So she's playing she ended up deciding on the first shot we were talking about there. She's playing basically the double off her own.
You Where she makes it, she's not necessarily out of trouble yet. She really needs to stick this one dead behind cover. Well, which she did.
Just had a nice little bump over, a really nice shot. And sitting 2 to boot. Have another look at it.
What are you seeing?
This is really well done.
They're 1-2.
Sweepers aren't really doing much,
Feel
just
that
a
on
little
the
tiny
wrist?
bit.
I don't love that.
The critical part here was to stay dead buried, because now what do you do if you're Artichuk?
They didn't really think that you'd get dead buried. It's just that the shooter actually just, well, not the shooter, the target stone you were trying to hit just moved just enough to the left as we look at it here to bury it, which I didn't know it would go that far. It was only 4 or 5 inches, but still had to get over there.
I love the shot through the hole if you make it. I'm not as convinced that there's a good result if you crash the guard.
Yeah.
This is the best result if you make it, though. I think if you get through there this way, you're flopping him behind the corner.
Yeah.
You don't have to have enough white to kill this either. Just this could be like a draw weight split almost. All you need to do is pop it out in the open. And it's more a question of controlling your shooter, getting it into a good spot.
So for Jamie Smith. Looks really good.
Get it there, guys. Good shot.
Better, I'll say. That's a great shot.
Yeah, I think that was a nice shot, yeah.
To play on now.
Let's have another look at it. Just enough weight to move this back into the 8 foot.
Yeah.
Really hard to get either of the yellows out now. There's the piece you can see on either of the yellows is a chance you're jamming on that stone that was just thrown.
Yeah. I think they'll play it, though. I think they'll play the double through the hole. And I think it'll go behind the blue.
Yeah, if you hit the first one thin enough to make the double, you could pop the first one between the 2 blues. But you gotta throw a bullet to make it through that hole at that stagger.
Actually, it looks a little more difficult now than it did a minute ago. Talking about it. I'm just giving us this angle to look at. Remind us of what are you guys talking about?
It's a great shot if you make it. It is, you know, the court looks big as you look at it from the hack in, but then when you realize there's a stagger there, the one guard's about 4 feet closer to the other.
Well, they're going there at it. It's going to be really close if it gets through there, and it does.
Too thick. Just touched the second one. Still better. It's much better than it was.
It's hard to believe you can hit that too thick.
I don't think I'm hitting this rock. The way things are shaping up, draw. Just draw.
Yeah.
You might need that rock to come off with your last one to get the big end.
Yeah.
That rock's never hurting you. It might help you later.
Yeah, I know that she's thinking she's going to have to move these rocks to bring the other yellow into play, but it may never get there. It's more difficult.
11.
Yeah, she doesn't need to hold her to. She'll hold her to 2. She's just going to play the draw now.
Yeah. If you make a really good draw here, it's going to be really very, very difficult too.
If she, here's what I'll tell you: if she makes a really good draw here, you'd wish she had a stone at the corner of the 8 foot at the top where you could come off of it and double it.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't hit that stone. Yeah. You draw there, she freezes in front of it, you've got to double.
Yeah.
That's why you don't hit that stone.
Satsuki Fujisawa from Kitami, Japan. will deliver her first stone here in the 8th inning. Last inning she had the 2 draws. She didn't make the first one very good at all, and made a really nice one in the next one. It turned out to be. Like the freeze. You really don't want to bounce it all here, Sean. I mean, touch short would be awful.
Yeah, touch short would be fine. You fight forward at the top. It's really tough to do so. There's nothing on the intern side. And the out turn, even if you had, if Artichuk had a draw on her first one, it's tough to put it anywhere where you're going to be buried, and you can't afford to do a double either, or you don't even have a shot to tie.
Yeah. This must be close. Maybe just a little warm.
Should walk now, though.
Really good, but they could have made it a little tiny bit better. Probably just the last 4 or 5 feet. Just get those extra 4 or 5 inches out of it. I think.
She's in a lot of danger now, not even have a chance to score. Does the intern, can you get there with the intern?
Well,
push it?
I think you may have to try. Time out here.
They made this tap a couple shots earlier, so you know there's big movement once it's through the court. And they only had back 8 on that. That's the stone that's still sitting back there.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's ugly. But then they'll have to go for 2. Yeah.
It does look like if you get through that port, that you could get through there with enough weight to move that blue one over. Like, to the back of the 4-foot kind of thing.
Still force Fujisawa to make a good shot, because you probably, even if you don't kill the blue, you're just going to push it back there, but it'll probably leave a double on the blues. So you can't just guard. You got to be careful coming in. I mean, she'd have the same shot. She'd have to make it.
Could come around, I guess, on the out turn, draw to the back of the 4-foot kind of thing, but be second shot. We'll see what Fujisawa did.
Yeah, I'd be concerned then that she comes down, taps her own blue up 3 inches, and you got no shot.
Yeah, if we could keep our student second shot, I would be
So Artichuk's going to go through this court.
The second shot doesn't make any difference here. I heard them say something about if they can keep the shooter for second, that'd be great. It makes no difference. Because if you're going to have a chance to hit with your last one, it's going to be a double or triple anyway. So whether your second shot here or not doesn't matter. The key is to get that blue far enough that you could do something with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Move it far enough, and then Fujisawa has to make an absolutely perfect draw again, or she could leave a double or a triple for the win.
So here goes Artichuk. Not an easy draw. It's going to be close. We have 1 yes and 1 no, so that usually means it's close, but it's got to get off that guard. Oh, and it does, but will it get far enough?
Somebody was looking at the wrong guard.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you like? You play the freeze again. She's going to have the shot to come off the blue to get the tie at least. You'd have to be really gutsy to come off your own and kill the yellow, but if you do it, the game's probably over.
Yeah.
I don't think... Boy, it's hard to be sure. If she ever came down and moved the yellow, could she leave a double on the blues? Maybe. If you're right to the corner, but I don't see how she scores 2. If you're to the face of it, she can come off the blue and score 2. But if you're on the corner of it, I don't think she could get underneath the one you're about to throw off the roll.
I think the draw is a shot.
Wait, yeah, it is. I don't think you want to tap it. If you tap it at all, I think she could come off the blue into the one you're about to throw, and it would pass by the yellow. It's still only going to be for 2, but if you lock this right on the corner, I'm not sure she could score 2. If you're right to the face of the yellow, she could come off the blue and get enough of the button to score 2. If you're on the corner, her shooter, when it comes across it, is not going to get underneath the one you're about to throw.
Fujisawa now playing an out-turn freeze. The final rock here to try to secure a victory.
You need to make this curl. You want to stay on the corner, and you know it's going to walk at the end.
How far we got?
They left her too much room, and it was going to over curl if it did get there.
Yeah, a nice effort, but not quite enough to take away the opportunity for 2 for Emma Artichuk. It's actually...
It still has to be made. She's got to get to the inside. She needs a bit of a roll.
Yeah, I think she has to be happy that she's got a very makeable shot here versus one of those 1 in 100 shots that you have sometimes. Don't always make the 1 in 100. So Artichuk now a little hit and flop. Force an extra in. Jumper's on early.
Release looked a little in out, but the slide looked a lot in. They're playing the tick double now.
Nice line call, Jim.
Looks like she made it. So great shot by Emma Artichuk. We'll have an extra end here in this one. I believe they're playing full extra end, yeah. So
it's like they play it back towards the glass.
Yeah.
Your disadvantage works for us because the home end is better placed on the home end. So.
It was better anyway because fans are all down there. So anyway, we'll take a short break and be back with you for the extra end right after this.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree, come use us for real estate.
So we're back for end number 9. Bonus coverage of our game today between Fujisawa from Japan and Artichuk from Waterloo, Ontario. So had to adjust the call halfway down there, Sean, to make that one, but
yeah, it was
worked out.
Maybe tight all the way, and if you get by the one at the top, they just rub it on top of the forefoot. They could have caught the second one very thin and quite likely spun through the back. So
yeah,
I had to get the little rub on the first one. Looking for the tight guard. They want to get back to the center too.
Yeah, so it was a nice pivot by the third here. Artichuk in the last end to get them this far. So unfortunately, that guard didn't make it quite to the center line, so it is movable. So we will probably see a tick shot of some form. We do see those every now and then.
It's one of the interesting side effects of the no-tick rule is because they don't get to play it as often. I think the percentages have gone down a little bit as well.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, actually. It's I have seen them, probably seen 4 or 5 of those so far this year. Not one of them are made really well.
When no tick zone came in, sometimes you'd see that many in a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Meant to be just routine.
And to some extent, I still am not a huge fan of the no-tick zone, only because it's one of the true team shots in a game. You cannot make a tick shot out of your hand. It has to be swept perfectly.
Yeah. Didn't change a lot with that, really. Just moved the guard over to the other side, probably an extra couple inches off the center line, but that's about it.
Yeah. Still throw the high guard, have your double centers. The one's going to be a little off. Not 100%. They talked about, and I get what she's thinking, and you certainly can play it this way. She talked about getting it high and touch the center so that they can't tick this one. The problem then is she's still going to have enough of the back one to play the tick on it, and it's the better guard.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that it's not covering the center line, I guess. But if you line the guards up, she can't really go after the tighter one.
Jala's second shot here, another guard attempt. Just working really hard to get it over, first of all. And she will just, maybe, or not, just get over the center line, obviously. Nobody kicked it away, so didn't get over by much, but it doesn't have to get over by much. It does leave the back one accessible that you mentioned, though, Sean.
Yeah, and accessible enough that it'd be tempting to just come around here. You'd hate to play this tick and make this second guard better. It's not good where it is. Like, they're not lined up at all.
Just well, look to move this yellow one probably through the house, back to the back of the house somewhere maybe, but
yeah, you have the luxury that blue star at the back as well, but if you ever jammed it onto that one, that would keep you from having a free guard zone violation, and it's still legal.
Yeah. Yoshida's second one here is on the way.
Yeah, this is drastically overcurling what they had in mind. This is worse.
Pretty good guard setup now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're dead lined up.
One of the good news for Fujisawa is she can actually start to peel into this next shot. She might have to.
Oh, no doubt about it, yeah. But those rocks, those two guards now, granted one of them's her own, but they're dead lined up, so there's no angle to really try for a double peel on rocks that are separated that far.
Evelyn Robert. Deep vibes.
He knows how to do score too. Exactly.
Saw now looking to. I'm not sure. She seemed to line it up more on the back one than on the blue one, but I have to assume she's.
Oh yeah, no, she'll go after the one in the 8-foot. Like, the angle's better. Like, you got to make sure you peel here. But if you could ever clip that one on the side of the 8-foot, you'd take that right now. That stone at the back of the 12-foot, the blue one, is the kind of stone where, you know, if it sits second shot to your last one, maybe you can just hit and roll out for the win.
Yeah. So get rid of the iron only.
Straight deal is fine.
Close. Feet. Feet up. This might be the best one here. 8 feet less.
For Artichuk, the situation here is good enough now. You can just keep throwing high guards right up until skips first, I think, and only look to come in with your last stone.
Yeah.
Now, you might not, because if you throw the guard with skips first, you know that Fujisawa might say, well, I can't throw both guards. I'm going to come around. That's the fun part of this, is it's the cat and mouse. When do you go in? If you wait one too late, your opposition goes first. You got to get to the side of the hog line again, though.
Yeah. That's maybe it's a little more iffy on this one.
I don't think they're sure that one's over.
Fujisawa says it is. Well, I'll tell you what.
Didn't get to the center line either. She can peel the blue into the yellow.
Yeah.
And then she knows she's always going to have the button open.
I'll tell you what, between those two rocks, they only got a combined about 1 inch over the hog line. A lot of work. So run on the roll blue one onto yellow here and be what they're looking for Fujisawa. The card that just was thrown up shouldn't really be a factor on any shot. As we're moving along. Second stone Yumi Suzuki. Get the blue, get the yellow.
Clip that blue out of the back 12, but she won't be heartbroken about that. And it does leave the blue closer to the house, but again, if you're burying around that now, she's always going to have the center line. So, you know, at the very worst, she's going to have the pinhole available.
Yeah.
Not more room than that, but if that's all you got, it's a shot she knows she can make anyway.
Jamie Smith now will attempt it behind those, probably stay above the tee line a little bit.
A little bit of room right now. Lots of line. No, they don't.
Back 8, I think I heard. They don't want that.
No.
One of the rock there that you could guard for your life. It'll probably stop just in time. She's going to have to peel the center. Oh boy, I don't love that.
I don't know if I love that either, but I'm not a bit surprised that she's calling that. Although I don't know if she still will by the time she's stopped.
If you're going to play it, I like moving it. Which you definitely could do on this ice. Like play backline to hack and roll your shooter into the open. I don't think you want to stay buried.
No.
You stay buried, she's going to try to get to the nose of it and move it back 6 inches, and then you'll never get to it.
Well, it's looking for ice that's a little bit more than draw weight, so definitely looking at a little bit far off a little bit, but
Flopping the open is good, but really, you got last rock and an extra, and if you could force your opposition to make a takeout.
It's got a curl. Will it get there? Looks like it probably will. It does.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the play any kind of hit, but she's still got to make a good draw. And again, if she gets a dead buried, you're always going to have the button.
So 3 rocks apiece to come.
Mine's better.
Amy Smith delivering her last one here in the extra end.
It's a curl now. Curl. Curl.
I didn't like that tap and brush in front of the rock.
Hard. Hard.
Good news for Artichuk here really is that with those guards positioned where they are, she's probably going to have, no matter what happens here, she's probably going to have an opportunity to at least get one in that's full 4 foot or better buried. So
Fujisawa's going to use her timeout here. I like the first call. I still think it's the call. You try to hit and roll open. You ever get underneath and you're going to be right at the tee line, and Artichuk comes down, sits up front, and you'll never have a chance to get the yellow out.
No.
Didn't take long for JD to say hit and roll open. Yeah. I don't know why we're talking about this. Hit and roll open.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to roll that big, like roll rocks with, because then it's for Artichuk. She has to ignore it and draw, but worst case scenario, it's going to be the spot where Fujisawa can come off it and roll to the pinhole. So.
Girls are going hard on this. Sweepers have got to get by and need to get it.
Needs to roll.
Well,
it's probably enough, probably just enough. Forces her to hit it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she could have used a few more inches on it, but
yeah, a few more inches. You probably have to make. She probably has to think about drawing, right? Still. But even then, it's a usable stone for Fujisawa. Like, it's tough to ignore. Those 3-4 inches more.
Yeah.
Even 6. It's tough to ignore it, but it's also hard to make anything good off it. You have to hit it here because it's got the pinhole covered. Did you ever freeze to it here? I can't imagine any scenario where Fujisawa would just guard it.
No, true enough.
Freeze to it, make a good freeze. There's a chance Fujisawa helps you.
Yeah, well, if you freeze to it, I assume that Fujisawa will try. If she's not going to guard it, then she pretty much has to try to blast it out of there.
If you hit it thick, you could push it in behind cover, and then she could throw a guard and take it to one drop after it.
Absolutely could, yeah. We're pretty happy with this. Might get the roll.
Just looking at trying to roll under here, and it's high enough in the rings now you could. I was also looking at the double.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think with the overhead again, Connor, if you could, if you make the double, there you go. Yeah, if you make the double, your shooter's probably deep enough. You're not going to be able to come off it. She's going to draw it to the top of the 4 foot. Even nose hits here is not bad. You nose hit it.
Yeah.
What does she do?
Well, I know. I kind of like the nose hitter, just barely inside of nose. The double's okay, except for the fact that, like you say, you're going to ignore it. You just have to be prepared to draw the full.
Yeah, the double's only good if your shooter's going to be high enough to come off it, and I don't think it is. I don't much love that roll because you still going to leave her the same shot. The more I look at this, the nose hit is pretty good. She'll have to play probably the wide out turn draw, and then you've still got, if she makes it perfectly, your rock is sitting right there to just tap it up.
Exactly, yep. First rock for Satsuki Fujisawa. Here in the extra end, playing an intern hit. Trying to really make it curl. Gonna be really close to the nose hit.
Yeah, they were trying.
A little inside.
They were trying for the roll under. I'm just not sure that's what they needed. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think it is too, yeah.
I can't imagine if you get under that, you're going to be any more than half buried.
No.
We gotta be there.
So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get as close to that as they can and maximize at least how much of their rock is behind Fujisawa's rock and still shot rock. So she doesn't have a whole lot of room to draw it to, Sean.
No, for sure not. Now, if she can make it, though, that yellow guard still kind of in play, only in that it probably is in the way enough that you can't really throw a bullet at it. You have to throw a controlled weight hit, which is definitely very makeable, but it's,
Yeah.
The guard's not really in play for the quiet hit, but it's in your eye, so it's always a bit of a distraction.
So Artichuk now with their final rock here in number 9. Very, very difficult shot.
Mine's good.
T, which is about the weight they're looking for. So.
Mine's good as all you. Mine's good.
Sweepers are just not doing much here, so it's got to be close.
Got a ton of room.
Tough task there for the sweepers. They actually ended up saying, well, they had to sweep more, and they probably did, but 9th end, you don't know for sure what's happening on a slide path and everything else that goes with that, so pretty good effort, I think, for Emma, really, considering. Very removable for sure for Fujisawa. Just to make sure you release this one nice and clean to the broom, and you don't help it out a little bit. Help it in a little bit, I guess I should say, more than.
Either way.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah.
She's not throwing a lot of weight. On it early.
Be similar to the same shot she just threw, but this is curling early.
This is really curling.
There's a guard tight to the ring.
She's by that one.
High.
Yeah, just a matter if she can buy. I think she's going to be okay.
She might touch her own.
Everything. Oh. Well, after almost hitting 3 stones, she still pulls off a really nice shot here in the extra end to secure a victory for Team Fujisawa. Going to have one more look at it. You can see how close she gets. I guess that wasn't super close, but.
Gets by 2. Even if she rubs this one, she's probably okay, and I can't tell whether she rubbed it or not. She might have on the way by.
Pretty nice effort. So overall, a pretty good game, Sean. Really, it was a fun one anyway.
It was a good game, a fun game, like you said, and good win for the Fujisawa team. That moves her to 2-0. Definitely gives her a chance to make the playoffs. For Artichuk now, that was her first game. She's 0-1 now, 2 more games to play. They definitely must win from here on in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank everybody for watching this one. We will be back first thing tomorrow morning to cover games all day long. And for myself, Jim Nix, and Sean Joyce, and Connor Sims on production, we thank you for watching this Curling Stadium production of Stu Cells Toronto.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree, come use us for real estate.